And Dutra continuing to keep out of control Matt Carlos off the top ropes, utilizing his wrestling skills and keeping Carlos down on the mat. And again,
nice move. Dutra he knew the counter was coming. He kept the side headlock on and forced him down into a takedown again.
Neither man really able to capitalize on most of their moves. We're seeing a lot of counters here, but when you think that is a tribute to these men knowing one another so well from tag teaming together, going through boot camp?
Yes, I think it's got to do with the training. I think it's got to do with their friendship. I think it's got to do with all of that. I have not seen any sympathy on the part of Matt Carlos, only on Dave Dutra. So Dave Dutra's got to toughen up, and remember, he's in a title match, and this kid's in the same boat that Dutra was before he met Thatcher. You know, Carlos is getting his shot finally, you know.
Well, I think Dutra might have heard you well, and he's following up very nicely here. He sends Dutra up against the ropes again. Oh, nice hip toss there.
Dutra was ready for him. Right back to that side headlock. Sign of a good wrestler, staying on top of him.
Oh, nice head scissors there by Matt Carlos.
Right back to that headlock. Dutra's really starting to gain control of this match. And even the speed of Matt Carlos is not helping him, gain control. Let's see what he does here.
Carlos using that flexibility of his, getting that right leg across the neck of Dutra. And he has a nice head scissors here, Roland.
And an armbar at the same time. So Dutra's got to try to break one hold and then break the other.
Oh, Dutra trying to bridge, but Carlos slapping that midsection, sending him back down to the mat.
Dutra's got to get away from one of the holds. There, it looks like he got out of the armbar. Now he can focus on getting the head free. But Carlos went right back to that armbar and turned him back over, trying to get a 3 count here.
Dutra in a tough spot here, Roland, as you mentioned. He's trying to get out of the armbar, but he really can't do anything off his back because he risks getting pinned.
That's right.
And Dutra trying to work a counter here. Carlos keeping him off. And Dutra
back to that side headlock.
Very methodical with that headlock throughout this match here, Roland.
No, that's it. There's no secret that Dave Dutra's game plan is to wear down Matt Carlos with that side headlock.
Absolutely. It's also keeping him off the top rope, keeping Carlos away from his bread and butter, the high-flying maneuvers.
You also impair the vision of your opponent. You know, if he's in a side headlock or a chin lock, you know, his vision is not as good as it could be if he wasn't in that hold.
Nice forearm shot there by Dave Dutra. Oh, and Carlos comes back with one of his own.
That was a stiff one. You don't want to trade forearm smashes with Matt Carlos. I'm going to tell you something. Don't let his size fool you.
Dutra now trying to stay on top of Carlos, but he's not really following up there.
See, well, and then this is one thing that I thought might happen during this match. I thought because of the deep friendship that both of these young wrestlers have, that there might be a problem where one wrestler looks hurt and all of a sudden the other wrestler starts to have a little sympathy for him.
You see the replay there. Dutra really hitting Carlos hard with those forearm shots.
There can be no sympathy in this match, Jason. Even though you're friends, you know, friends is friends, but this is business right now. This is for the Worldwide Internet Championship. Oh, arm drag. Very nice arm drag. See how much arch Carlos had in that arm drag? Fabulous arm drag. Now he's putting the knee to the head. Now Dutra's doing something very wrong here. He's turning away from his opponent. That's actually increasing the leverage on that arm and on that left shoulder.
That's right. He should be turning into Matt Carlos.
He should be turning into his opponent. Now he's trying to turn in, but Carlos is trying not to let him.
Carlos doing a very good
arm bar. And I'll tell you, those arm drags look good. They look like Ricky Steamboat arm drags. He had so much arch in that arm drag.
Dutra getting back up to his feet here, doing a nice job of working out of that arm bar.
Nice arm drag by Dutra, but Carlos held on and still has. And look at that. See how smart Matt Carlos is? He knew he was near the ropes. He dragged him to the middle of the ring so that he can work on that arm in the middle of the ring. Do not let your opponent escape by the use of the ropes.
And Carlos here doing a nice job of locking up his ankles and torquing that elbow of Dutra.
He's got Dave Dutra in trouble here. I think what happened was Carlos figured the only way to defend that side headlock would be to grab a part of the body himself and work on it. And he's chosen that arm.
Oh, both men
Still has it.
Both men trying to get some pins there, but again, Carlos is able to hold on to that arm bar.
You see how hard Tom Castor, senior official, has been working? He went outside the ring to make that count. This guy's working hard.
Fans, stay with us. We got to go to commercial, but we will be back for the conclusion of this match. Let's get back to the action. Jason Anderson, Roland Alexander, APW Garage, KFTY Channel 50, Digital 199, where you are watching this internet title match between Matt Carlos and Dave Dutra.
And it's been a good one, and it's almost like there's been two matches in one. The first part of this match was dominated by the champ Dave Dutra, as he had a side headlock and kept working that head. I think Carlos got to the point where he figured the only way to defend that side headlock would be to grab a hold of his own and take a body part and work on it, and he's chosen that left arm and that left shoulder, and he's been working hard on that for the last minute and a half.
Looking for a back body drop. Oh, nice counter there by Dutra. Carlos comes back. Nice roll up. Oh, he only gets a 2 count.
Thought he might get the surprise pin, but right back to that arm drag. What an arm drag. Carlos is now doing just the same thing that Dave Dutra did in the first half of this match. He's taken a body part, and he's been wearing it down, and he's sticking to it. No matter what Dutra does, Carlos goes back to that arm bar.
Dutra is still able to get back up to his feet here. Nice shots to the midsection to Matt Carlos. Picks him up. Looking for a slam.
Carlos wasn't giving it to him. I'll tell you, he shook his legs. That is a lesson to a lot of the young wrestlers. When somebody crouches you for a body slam, don't go with it. Make sure that you try to do something to prevent him from slamming you. And that's what Carlos did there by shaking his legs.
Carlos really torquing that elbow and shoulder of Dave Dutra. But again, Dutra's able to get back up to his feet.
Let's see what Dutra. Oh, see now, remember, Jason, when I told you earlier on that there's going to be a point in this match where it doesn't look like there's a lot of technical stuff going on, that they're going to roughen it up a little bit?
Oh, nice chop there by Carlos, Roland.
Yes, very good. And Carlos looks like he's still maintaining the momentum here.
Carlos sending Dutra into the corner. Oh, Dutra had that scouted, Roland. Now he's got Carlos locked up. Oh, Carlos again with a nice roll up here. 1, 2. Oh, Dutra's able to kick out. Dutra able to kick out and get out of these holds here by Carlos. As you pointed out, Roland, Carlos has been dominating the second half of this match, but Dutra showing a lot of heart, showing a lot of skill, able to get back up to his feet, out of these holds, and to kick out of these pins.
You notice how Matt Carlos went to the upper European forearm? I figure he thought that had an effect on Dutra when he wrestled Timothy Thatcher, and he'd go to the well himself with that upper European.
Dutra sending Carlos off the apron to the concrete floor here at the APW Garage. Let's look at this replay here, Roland.
Great drop kick by Dutra. Now let's see what Dutra does from here. Is he going to take it to the floor? Is he going to execute a high flying move here?
This could be a big turning point, but Dutra's not capitalizing on this, Roland.
See, and here we go again. The friendship is getting in the way of this great title match.
If that was Timothy Thatcher, you can't tell me that Dutra would not be following up right now.
That's right, he would have been. But this is Matt Carlos, his good friend, and he doesn't want to, put any more. Look at, see, he's spreading the ropes for him.
Dutra returning the favor that Carlos did for him earlier in the match. Dutra probably wants to beat Carlos in the middle of the ring with the 1, 2, 3, but when the title's on the line, Roland, you got to get wins any way you can.
That's right, and I think Dutra's making a big mistake here, and I think Carlos will eventually capitalize on it.